Hi, this is Fabio, and if you've been following my YouTube channel, you probably already know by now that I've been doing a series on my Tama Imperial Star drum kit, and this is my initial review of that drum kit. But before I go into the details, I'd like to share with you the purpose of why I bought the drum in the first place. I bought it because we had planned some gigs that we were going to do out here in Dubai, and finally the gigs kind of died down, and I thought, since I still have the kit, I'll do some reviews of the drums. But I did some recordings on it, and I was quite surprised with how it sounded. I didn't use a drum kit much in terms of as one kit entirely, with everything complete on one stage, except for a few times. But I was blown away by the snare drum that I used to perform live at a Sika stage or art festival here out in Dubai with my band. And it sounded really great. I took some footage from the view of the people who were sitting off the stage, and it sounded on stage also really nice. But yeah, so let's go into the details. So this drum is by Tama. It's black finish. I think it's still PVC. It's plastic finish or veneer cover. That's short for PVC. But it's black. It's jet black. It's shiny black, and it's a quite nice finish. Now the shells are made by poplar. Now, if you're not familiar with this kind of wood, it's very decent tone. Probably wouldn't use the word decent, but actually it has very specific character traits to it. And if you like mids and very clear mids, this is the drum for you. Now, I wouldn't say that this is a starter kit, because if you said, a lot of people say that a starter kit is based on its price. But then, coming from my perspective, is that a price is one of the factors that determines whether something sounds good or doesn't sound good. But basically, it's mostly about how it's built and the kind of hardwares that are used to build it, and then you have the type of wood, and this drum kit was made by poplar shells, and I've never had a poplar drum kit before, so this is my first. So this is initially my first impression of how it sounds, and it sounds amazing. Now, before I go into these tonal characters, I would like to add that tuning on this drum is very easy. So if you were a beginner drummer and you just wanted to buy this kit, I think out of the box, even with the stock skins that they send you, which I'm using on all my recordings anyways, they've made it somehow very easy to tune it, which nowadays is mostly what is out of the box for most drums anyways. But I've literally spent like hours and hours just on a snare drum, tuning it and fine-tuning it to get it where I need it to get. But with these drums, it took me less than an hour, to be fair, and out of the box it sounds really great. Now, bear in mind that everything that I'm using to record is all stock, all the skins, everything. So for me to get that kind of tone in my videos was really mind-blowing. So if you like clear mids and very decent highs too, but for me, for the bass drum, I'm just talking about the bass drum, I'm not talking about everything else on the drum. But for me personally, as a drummer, as somebody who admires specific characteristics to sound, the bass drum is a bit too high for me in terms of tonal. I mean, probably you could tune it down, lower it down, or maybe even change the skins to a different type of skin and probably get a lower or a warmer tone out of it. Except for me, everything that I'm using on stock in comparison to other drums that I have, which of course wouldn't be fair to compare in the first place because they aren't using stock skins. But what I'm trying to say, in just out of the box, for me, the bass drum is just preferably not my kind of sound. I wouldn't say it's a bad, but there might be people out there that loves this kind of tone, and if it's your tone, then great, good for you, But I love the toms. The toms sound really, really great. And what amazes me is that the snare drum is amazing. I have the setting. I have it tuned to high tuning, but it sounds great. And it's nice and open. It's nice and airy, even for the toms. Although Tom 1 sounds very, very good. I love the floor. Tom 2, probably because I haven't really gotten the tuning on it really, really nailed down to the wire. But I think maybe it's just my tuning. But yeah, the hardware on it is great. And Tama has been known for their hardware. Like, I still have my double pedals, my Iron Cobras from Tama, and they're still rocking until now, which I'm using on the kit actually right now, which is the kit in the background right there. Of course, I have a few additionals on my drum kit, as you can see in the videos, and it's in the descriptions of the videos of how I set it up. But basically, in conclusion, if you are even a beginner drummer, you're intermediate, or you're advanced, or even if you're like a session or recording artist like me, I would probably take the snare, take the toms, Tom 1 and Tom 2, and probably just mix that with a bass drum that I prefer would have a little bit more warmth. Or even, the easiest way would just take off the stock skin and put something coated on it. It'll add a little bit more of warmth and a bit of a punch to it. When this bass drum character has a lot of air, it has those thump, 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 thump. It has a lot of air, which is great. It's not bad, But for me as a drummer, there are things that make me more comfortable when I play, and that I can identify, so that when I'm on stage and when I'm recording, that's the sound that I'm used to, and that's the sound that I need to generate when I'm recording or I'm playing live, etc., etc. But in general, this kit is amazing. So if you want to get a drum kit, they have a few finishes for this drum kit, and usually they sell it as a pack. I think they include the cymbals, the drum shells, and the hardware, and the drum stool that comes with it. Although the drum stool is really quite basic, but it'll get you through the day. So yeah, that's my opinion about this drum. So when I'm done with this, it's going out of the house. So yeah, I'm just gonna do 4 videos with me on this kit, and then I'm gonna say goodbye to this kit, because I have another drum that I'm gonna do a series of drum covers on it, and then I'll be doing a review of that drum. So stay tuned, and subscribe and like. See ya.